fires occur pretty regularly here on post during fire season. I'd say about 95% of the time, maybe even more, it's for military training. It could be from a number of trainings. It could be aerial pyrotechnics, ground pyrotechnics, tracer rounds. Could be from artillery. It could be other things like helicopter door gunnery. So any number of those things could start a fire if the conditions are right. So typically we'll get the call that there's a fire. If it's normal work hours, forestry will get notified or get dispatched to the scene. So basically we have ground ignition and aerial ignition. Ground ignition, you're utilizing mostly people walking through the unit, lighting it, and you have support pieces, which pretty much it's broken down to firing and holding. The firing team is responsible for lighting the fire. The holding team is responsible for protecting valuable resources and keeping the fire inside the box. We're all working together, before the fire, during the fire, after the fire, talking together, coming up with a game plan, figuring out what the best way is to get this burn done completely safely and meet our objectives. So when we do aerial ignition, the same type of planning goes into place. We have a couple more working parts since we do use a helicopter to drop little ping pong balls inside the unit. Using the aerial ignition definitely gets us to burn a lot more acres a lot faster, and it's safer many times instead of sending people through certain areas that are either overgrown or just very hilly terrain. Something for us that spurred us to do it right away was our impact area. So there's a lot of unexploded ordnances in there. We were never allowed to access that, so we never had a very complete burn. Once we got into aerial ignition, we were able to get a good, complete, safe burn along the whole about 1,500 acres of our impact area, which that really improved our efficiency. That's really where it's at, is improving efficiency. If you had all the time in the world to get a burn done during the day, that right burn window, you could probably do a lot of it by hand, but often you're limited by timing, and then once you do get into those larger burns, it definitely gets more complex for people to walk through the unit. On a statewide level, it's mostly used for silvicultural reasons, or habitat management, or more of an environmental tool than it is fuels management. Of course, anytime you burn, that is an advantage to have fuels management and mitigate any chance of wildfire. That probably is the biggest thing. We're using fire to control those fuels and manage the wildfires, and the state is using it just for habitat management. The other big contrast there is on a acres level. Other agencies such as the Game Commission have bumped up their fire program and have been burning, around 10,000 acres a year or so, or getting close to that mark if they're not already there. Other agencies have other obligations, such as DCNR. They're committed to a lot of their wildfire responsibilities, so they haven't been able to ramp up their prescribed burning as much. We're fortunate that we have a unique situation where we are, and it's a very high priority for us to burn.